alive. Hey guys, welcome back to The Awakening Artist. My name is Dana, and today I'm gonna lead you guys through the 5 steps to help you discover your true creative voice. So these are questions that I've asked myself, exercises that I've done along the way to help me kind of fine tune my creative and my artistic passions to learn what it is I really have to bring. So stick around to the end of the video and you're gonna learn those 5 things. So let's get into it. So first, we're just going to talk about what it means to find our true creative voice. And to me, finding the creative voice is finding that thing that when we do it, we are losing track of time. We are fully present with what we're doing. It is allowing us to access deeper parts of our soul, deeper parts of our spirit, and interact with maybe certain energies of channeling, of connecting with our guides and our angels. It's that thing that when we're doing it, it might challenge us the most, but it's bringing us incredibly present. And it's also that thing that if we don't do it, we're gonna feel unfulfilled. So a lot of times with resistance, it's like the one thing that you know you need to do creatively, that's the thing that's the hardest to do, right? And usually that's a pretty good indicator that that is one of your passions and that is you moving in the direction of your true creative voice. Your creative voice is the one-of-a-kind, unique perspectives and offerings and expressions that are completely unique to you, that are not going to be the same as anyone else on the earth. And these are your soul's gifts. This is the energy that the universe is wanting you to channel forward and bring onto the planet. So now that we kind of understand like what the creative voice is, we're going to talk about 5 steps to help you discover that within yourself. So the first step, you want to fill in the blank here, okay? When I do blank, I completely lose track of time. So when we are doing something and we lose track of time, that is such a good indicator that that thing that we're doing is putting us so deeply in the present moment and putting us into the channeling state that we're losing track of time, that we don't even know how many hours has passed since we're doing that thing. And you might think like, oh, well, I have certain hobbies where I kind of feel that way. Well, in those hobbies, that's where you can discover your true creative voice, okay? In those things that you are present with and that you're losing track of time, that's going to be a really good indicator that your true creative voice and your true creativity is going to be present in those things. So when I do blank, I completely lose track of time. The next step is to ask yourself, what is the creative pursuit that intimidates you, but also deeply inspires you? So, like I mentioned earlier, when we are about to have a breakthrough creatively, that's usually when the resistance is strong enough, or is strongest, right? So when we are going in the direction of something that's going to expand us and expand our creativity, expand our consciousness, we're probably going to be pretty fucking terrified of that thing, okay? And I experience this all the time. Like, I have a regular painting practice. I paint like 4 to 5 days a week. And I still have moments where I'm afraid to go in the studio, or I have that resistance coming up. And I know it's because my true creativity and my passion is found in that space. So once you identify what is the thing, what is the creative pursuit that intimidates you, but that deeply excites you, right? It's not really meant to be supposed to be something that's hard, that's dragging your feet. It is going to be hard in certain ways, but it's not meant to feel uninspiring and like you just don't want to be doing it and you're trying to force yourself to every single day. And it's just like you're not, having these feelings of being present, losing track of time. And that's a good indicator that's something that's probably not where your true creative passion lies. But when you can find that thing where it's like it intimidates you, but it excites you, that's a good indicator that your true creative voice can be found in that thing. So the third step kind of ties in with the first one. And if you are, you have certain hobbies that you enjoy doing, but you're not really sure how to bring forward your creative voice in something, or really knowing like what your creative gift is, you can make a list of 5 practices that when you're doing them, again, like the first step, you lose track of time, okay? And like I already talked about earlier, when you have that feeling of losing track of time, that means you're right in the sweet spot with your creativity, and you're becoming very present with it, and you're entering that channeling state and the flow state. And that's where you're going to find your creativity and your voice. So making a list of 5 things that when you do them, you're losing track of time. The 4th thing is to, now that you have maybe a couple of practices that you can do that are going to help you become present and lose track of time in these, creative pursuits that you're going to try out, practice them consistently, okay? So when we're able to, create a ceremony for our work, and I talk about that in, you can find how to create a ceremony around your artwork on my channel as well. But when we're putting aside time to fully dive into our creative pursuits, then things are just gonna start unfolding for us in the direction of us really connecting to what we're able to do, what we're able to bring, and what we have to say. So a lot of people who maybe feel lost and that they're not connecting to their creativity or their creative voice, a lot of times it's because they, we stop and we get scared of what it really means to dive into our creativity and to try new things, and trying the 5 things on your list, and maybe make a commitment to yourself. Like you're going to try one of those 5 things at least 3 to 4 times a week, right? And when you start to practice those things consistently, even if you don't know exactly like what you are trying to say with your work, with your creativity, or what it is you're really bringing in, when you're practicing it consistently, things are going to just start unfolding and coming into your awareness that you're not even going to expect. Okay, a little example of this is with my work, my painting work, and I do channeled paintings. At first, I was just giving myself space and time to channel and to flow. And I was in this session one day for like 4 to 5 hours, and I'm just channeling and flowing, and I don't really know where it's going, but I know I love doing it and I feel present with it. And then all of a sudden I start creating what looks like this being, okay? And I channel in guides and angels and different beings in my work. And this was the first time that had happened. And it was just because I was so present, and I was present with my channeling and present with my practice, and I had no idea what was going to happen. But then after a couple of hours, there's like this face of this luminous, wise Lemurian being staring back at me with this like eagle on their forehead, and they're like this androgynous guide of mine from ancient Lemuria. And I remember I put the painting in front of me, and I just like interviewed it, and I was like psychically kind of talking to it. And I know that might sound a little crazy to you guys, but it was like, who are you and why did you come through? And so long story short, when I was just present in the channel and I was just going with it because I enjoyed doing it, then it was like this whole new era of work was birthed for me. And since I channeled that being, I, went in this year-long study of channeling lots of other beings and guides. And so that's just to give you guys an example that you never know what's going to happen, but you do have to show up for it, and you do have to practice it consistently. And the 5th step that's going to help you guys discover your true creative voice is share what you create. Okay, I know this is gonna feel really scary to a lot of people, especially us, us artists, where we can be very like reclusive and moody and emotional, and not everyone is like that. I know I definitely am, but it can be hard to be seen in our creations. But the more we allow ourselves to be seen, the more it's basically just a practice of owning it. Right? Owning it that yes, I made this, and this creation is beautiful, and this creation is good enough, and it's perfect. And when you start sharing that, maybe you sharing that, but when you start sharing it and you're getting feedback from people, and you're getting people who might surprise you and absolutely love what you're doing and have, you know, they might see certain things in what you're doing and in your work, and then it'll inspire you, and it'll open up the connections, the collaborations. It'll just open everything up for you to then help you start finding your own unique voice. So just to recap, you guys, you know, filling in the blank. When I do blank, I completely lose track of time. What is the creative pursuit that intimidates you but deeply excites you? If you're unsure of what your creative gift is, make a list of 5 practices that when you're doing them, you lose track of time and that they fill you with passion. Practice these things consistently and share what you create. And if you keep doing these things, I guarantee in no time at all, you're going to have that aha moment or that breakthrough moment where it's like you find your voice and you find your passion and you find what it is you really want to create and what you want to say. And so much magic is going to flow. So I hope this was helpful for you guys. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to click the subscribe button for more creative content. And I will see you guys in the next video.